look like 40-year-old abs.
Yay! Hooray! That's all I was just fishing for that compliment. All show, and I finally got it. I love the way that they set up the punch like this. Don't you, Jess?
I love it.
Oh, man. Yay. Well, I always thought that I would be like Stella from How Stella Got Her Groove Back when I turned 40.
You are.
Yeah, right?
You
like
are.
I used to always like love Angela Bassett's arms, and I'm like, wow, no other women have arms like that in movies. You know, like all the other women have these little stick arms, and then you see Angela Bassett come on with her little biceps, and she's doing stuff.
And her abs and her perfect skin.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Looking amazing. I used to let in, I'm like, oh, we had the same name too. We're connected. We're basically sisters. She's my auntie.
You could pass.
Yeah. So, what were we talking about?
You're about to cut me a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for my birthday cake.
You're welcome.
Ugh. This looks pretty good. What am I doing? Ooh, chocolate.
It's cookies and cream.
Bam. Sorry, I got my finger in it.
It's okay.
Hey.
Your toe was in my mouth the other day, so. Not the fun way, guys.
And you
Sorry.
loved it.
Totally loved it.
That is funny how it's all about context.
Isn't everything?
Yeah. Like I could be doing some crazy stuff to a guy that I'm grappling with, but like if your husband caught you like watching TV with the guy and you're doing the same thing, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, but since you guys have a mouthpiece in and you're on a mat, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay to mount a man.
I'm just trying to do violence. I'm not trying to do anything that would cost me my marriage.
It's okay if he takes my back here.
Yeah. So one thing I gotta ask: has there ever been a time where you had a crush on a guy that you were rolling with?
Oh, yeah.
And you got into these awkward positions, and it did mean a little something more than trying to beat each other up.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if he's feeling this too.
Oh.
I'm like, I am oddly turned on right now.
Dawson's Creek music starts. Like, what was the movie? The Kiss Me.
Oh, yes.
He takes you back. He starts hunting for the seatbelt.
Like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Choke me.
Yeah.
Pull my hair.
I'm going to fight your hands with my chin.
There have been times where I've been rolling with someone. I'm like, I didn't know I found you attractive until this moment.
Ooh.
I was like, wow, nice hips, nice pass.
Right? There's like, it's like anything. You know how they say that it's not the size, but the motion in the ocean? It's like if you don't have that swagger when you roll, it can be like a total like ick thing.
No, there are some people that just like move really well.
Yeah. It's just like, damn. He's good.
Oh, yeah, that's hot.
Like, wow.
Now, this doesn't happen all the times. Don't get weird. I'm sure there will be some weird comments about this, but I don't care. I'm in my 40s.
Full disclosure.
We don't be bothered.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely fun rolling with a crush.
Has there ever been like somebody that you were rolling with and then Adam was like...
No, he's so secure. I don't know what about him makes him so secure, but he's just like, she'll be back.
It's nice to know that he knows what he brings to the table.
Yeah, he's the full package, you know, like he does everything for me. He's like, we still got the spark that we had when we first met when we were young and dumb. And yeah, he's totally secure. I'm not looking at anyone else. And I'm not. But like there is like a swagger in some people who you train with, just like fighting ability and stuff where you're like, well, if I wasn't married. But at the same time, they're a fighter, so they're probably broke. They probably have.
Yeah, these are just totally like crushes in my mind.
Yeah.
That are like, that only live there, that will only ever live there.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
I've been around for too long to know. I know better.
Yeah, you're like
old and wise.
Oh my goodness. He's like over 30. He's really waiting for that Contender Series contract.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah.
He's like, can you put a word in for me? With I'm like, no! You ruined it. The fantasy is gone. It just became too real.
Oh, that's so funny.
Can't even fantasize about you alone anymore.
That's like usually immediately where my brain goes. And I'm like, oh, they're cute. And I'm like, yeah, like not good for anything else.
No.
Sorry, guys. Hey, if you're out there and you're not a fighter, this should be great news to you. A fighter is not going to be the one that pulls Jess.
Nor a fan.
Oh, never mind.
I just want to be left alone.
Oh, man.
Oh.
You got a little bit of my chocolate on your lip.
Oh, really?
And it's not even grappling day. They're like, oh, the person she's talking about is Jess.
I know. By the way, I only train with women now, so I haven't had these fantasies in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been years. It's been so many years.
Well, what do you want to talk about? You mentioned the girl who cut weight.
Yeah, so we have and this is old news. This happened a while ago, but Diana Silva, her manager is speaking out about the, calling for serious changes in weight cutting in MMA. And so the new organization that I'm going to be fighting for, the GFL, they were talking about doing hydration rules, but instead they settled on doing 3 weight classes. So we have 110, which is technically atom weight. Mm-hmm. We have 125, which they're calling straw weight. I don't get that. I think we should just call it what it is. It's flying.
Wait, it's 125 and they're calling it straw?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 140 is bantam.
Okay.
So they originally thought that they were going to do this like hydration thing so that people like aren't going to cut weight as severely. But the thing is, and then, going back to this article with this girl that, really had a tough weight cut. She ended up in the hospital.
But you still got chocolate.
Let me live, Angela.
I don't want you talking about this.
Lick it
I don't want you to get into a really serious part of the conversation.
Well, now
just like chocolate. She was in a coma. Just like, oh. Cookie crumbs. Cookie crumbs. Yeah, anyway, sorry. You were saying.
So organizations try and have these hydration rules. They try and get around it. The thing is, people are always going to cut weight because money is on the line.
Yeah.
Now, when I first started fighting, I was 112, 114 pounds. And I used
you're
to
making
fight
an old joke.
No. I mean, it's technically an old
It was
joke.
112 years ago. Very good.
But I used to always fight at 110 and 115. I never cut weight. When I got into the Bellator tournament, I still didn't cut weight. Yeah. I still weighed in at like 110 pounds. But that's when everybody started cutting weight because all of a sudden there's money on the line. So
I remember Zoila Frosto was on that.
And she fucked up her body so bad.
Huge.
She was a 135er, 125er. And she cut all the way down to 115. And she never made that weight again after that tournament. Nah. She screwed up her body so badly. She won the tournament just because of size. And because it was just, that was the biggest opportunity at the time.
Yeah.
But what it did was it screwed up her body so much that she never really recovered from it.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a lowly fan and not a fighter, I would talk shit about the fact that she was always walking around with the belt and she couldn't make the weight. Like, she would always be like, I'm the champ of this weight class. But it's like, you can't make the weight again. So why are you doing that? But, you know, did they not want to do a tournament at 135? Okay, anyway, this is old drama that
this is old stuff. But,
don't really care about. But
the thing is, so, you know, people cut weight because there's money on the line,
right?
Because there's opportunity, because they, you know,
you get an advantage from being the biggest person in there.
You do. You don't have to fill in the gaps that you would need to do if you're competing at a healthy weight class. That's just what it is. So he's calling for these changes in weight, but the thing is, it is the fighter's responsibility to manage their weight properly.
Yeah.
To make weight in a healthy way. And you have to be honest with yourself. If you cannot make the weight in a healthy way and perform at your best, then you shouldn't be at that weight class. Then you need to go up. It's frustrating though, because there will always be people trying to get that advantage because it is such an advantage.
It is. I mean, why do you think Reba still fights at 115?
Yeah.
Because she feels like she gets both of those girls look chunky in there, you know, but she feels like she gets this extra advantage from being the bigger girl in there when really her weight class is 125. There's a lot of people who are kind of in the middle too, which is why they bounce around. Like, she could be a perfect 120er. You know, she might feel really small 125, but that's the fear. When you cut a lot of weight, you fear being the smallest person in there, and it's not a fun feeling. I mean, we've been the smallest person in there in most of our fights.
No, I hate it.
It's
I don't like
sucks.
it.
And you feel a difference when you go up against someone who is your size or who is smaller than you. Like, whenever I train with an atom weight, I'm like, oh, this must be how all these other big hoes I fight feel when they fight
a nice
me.
feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, get out of here. That doesn't work. Psh, get out of here. You're 10 pounds lighter than me. Yeah, boop. Get out of it. Smack him down. Yeah, stop it. Stop trying to fight me, little girl. Like, that's how they feel when they fight us. So I understand the want to cut weight, but when your health is on the line, I think a lot of times we're so desensitized to what a bad weight cut looks like that we don't understand the weight of, like, how bad
there are
this
repercussions.
is. We don't understand that we could be killing a person, allowing them to cut weight in a bad way. And I think with the PI, that's been a really good step in keeping people from getting to that point where they are so hurt, so messed up that they can't fight, that they can't walk, they can't live. Like, the PI has been a good step for the UFC to get rid of that whole thing, but we're still killing our bodies.
They're still cutting a ton of weight.
They're still cutting a ton of weight.
They're just doing it in the healthiest way possible.
Yeah, so it's still bad for you, and you want to negate, like, the side effects as much as possible, and the best way to do that is by trying to put on a little more weight if you feel small for a weight class, and then not cutting as much. Like, that's just the easiest answer.
And there is a science to it. There is a healthy way, or a healthier way of going about it. There is kind of a right way to go about it. And there are still people that are, you know, a little bit less educated on the subject that will, you know, try,
and I think that's
try
most
different
people.
ways.
Like, I even think the PI people are figuring it out as they go.
Well, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
I mean, my body holds a lot more body fat. So I have to, like, do things a little bit differently than somebody who has a little bit more lean muscle mass than me. There are, like Angela, water just comes off of her. My fat holds on to it. It just does. It's science. I'm serious.
Science.
But it is, and it's not, you know, I remember the first time I tried, you know, to cut a little bit of water weight, I was listening to a man's way of doing it. And it's just different than a female's, you know? For me, I have to diet a lot more. I have to be strict with my diet. I have to do a little bit more cardio. I have to do these things, whereas some people can just, you know, sit in a sauna and the water will come off. There are ways to do it. There are healthier ways to do it, but there are also one size doesn't fit all. Men and women cut differently. Females have different body types, different body composition. So do men. It's different for everyone. And like you were saying, the PI makes it a little bit safer. They have a little bit more, you know, knowledge and experience with it, and they keep, you know, all the data on it. So it's just one of those things that we can't really get around at this point and where the sport's at, just because it means too much.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what happened with this girl's weight cut in particular, like what she weighed in at when she got to fight week, if they were keeping track of that, because that's something that I feel like they kept track of in Invicta too, like what you were when you arrived, and just to get an idea of if the fight's gonna happen, because sometimes people arrive and they're obviously like 30 pounds overweight.
Well, and that's like what the PI does. Like they check on you throughout camp. They know what you're starting your camp at. They know what's your targeted arriving weight, and then you adjust from there. You know what I'm saying? Like there are steps to it, and some people will just be like, I'm just gonna cut it fight week.
Yeah, or some people will be like, oh, I'm just not gonna drink water for 2 days. And then sweat it out. You're not gonna sweat shit out. There's nothing to sweat.
No, your body is shutting down.
You haven't drank water. You have no water in you.
Your body is gonna try and hold on to that so it can live.
Yeah, it really is a science experiment every time you cut weight. And I feel like now that I'm at something, maybe I think 30 something fights now, I have a pretty good understanding of how it's gonna go. But also your body changes, especially when you're younger. I think she was younger, right, in her 20s.
Yeah, and she also said, so she took the fight on 14 days notice.
Oh, so already
it's a short notice. She's already big for the division. She wants to. It's a lot. It's a lot on the body, and again, like, people want to take short notice fights because it's a huge opportunity. You know, you get your name out there, you do them a favor, they're going to do you a favor. And you just have to be like honest with yourself and figure out if that's the best thing for you. And in this case, for her, it was not.
And I wish cases like this got more publicity, because I feel like it would make people take more precautions when they go to cut weight. I think especially when you're an athlete as a child, you feel like the weight's going to come off easy every time. Like, even if you're way overweight, because you did it once when you were 15. But guess what? You're 25 now. Your metabolism is slowed down a bit, and you probably hit a growth spurt. So it's going to be harder to get down to that weight that you used to fight at. And yeah, a lot of these little learning things, it's also on the coaches to know their fighter and to see like, oh, this one isn't looking as good. But I think if we saw that more often, like when a weight cut went bad and the health problems that you get after that, then I think people would take that more seriously. Like, at least like doing the research themselves, doing test cuts, and just really understanding your body.
Yeah, I think all these things are important, and they're things that people don't take seriously until they have to.
Until you're in the hospital in a coma.
Until you're in the hospital in a coma. Your kidneys are shutting down, and yeah, it just...
Oh, because you didn't want to drink water for 2 days. Crazy.
It is crazy. So we've also talked a lot about what judges and refs can do for just like keeping checks and balances of how they're doing and how they're doing it. And you had brought up like, oh, I think that, you know, they should take a test. I think they should watch footage and go around and figure out who they think won, who they think lost, and why. And we got a clip of it that BKFC is actually having this done.
That's awesome.
They're actually doing that with their refs and judges. So I thought that was a step in the right direction. You know, I think it's a little bit easier in bare knuckle to get it right because most of them end with cuts or stoppages.
Yeah, that's true.
But I did like seeing that. I really liked seeing that they were doing this kind of conference setting where they were, you know, calling people out and making people like justify why they thought it was a win, why they thought it was a loss, and just kind of you know, keeping the education going.
Yeah, I love that. And maybe other promotions will take suit seeing this happen and seeing the reaction that it gets. I would like to see more because the clip that you showed me, it was still kind of vague. They weren't really talking about the process or what they're doing in order to educate the judges and the refs. But I love it. I love that they're doing that, and I think stuff like this happens in the UFC, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much influence it has on the actual way that judges judge fights. Like, I still feel like there has to be some kind of way of judging the judges. If that, like, in the same way, if we lose 5 fights in a row, we're probably going to get cut. Like, if you misjudge 5 fights in a row, then you at least have to explain why you judge things these ways, because if you're talking to a judge that has a vendetta against doing things by the book, like Sal D'Amato, then they might say, well, I don't think leg kicks exist, or I don't think blah, 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 and just say something that's totally off the wall and not in the rule book, and he's able to continue to judge fights. And now he's not judging fights anymore, but that was one of the like stories about Sal D'Amato that existed years before he...
Doug Crosby?
I mean, Sal D'Amato, I'm so sorry. You're not that bad.
Like, wait a minute.
Doug Crosby.
Doug Crosby. He sucks.
Doug Crosby, my bad. But yeah, now you're like, Sal D'Amato just judged a fight. Like last night. And I agreed with it. No,
good job.
Sal D'Amato's name pops up every now and then, but he's more of a Mark Smith. He's not like a Herb Dean who's the guy who does the heart?
Yamasaki.
Yes, he's not him. Mark, was it Mark Yamasaki?
No.
What was his name? The guy who would like let people die.
Please hold.
Yeah, he's not one of those. But yeah, Doug Crosby would go and tell people how he preferred to judge fights as opposed to how he's supposed to. And
Mario.
We
haven't heard from him in years.
Where is he?
He's gone. Where?
He could be a couple of places.
The bottom of a riverbed.
He could be in Japan, or he could be in Brazil.
Mario Yamasaki now. He lives in Bethesda, Maryland. Oh,
Bethesda.
With his family, and splits his time with in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He co-owns and operates a chain of Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools, and also owns a construction company in the United States.
Oh man.
He is also an MMA ref. This actually has not been updated.
Okay. This is AI.
Yeah,
that's
but he
funny.
splits time between Brazil and Maryland.
Why Bethesda? That's so random.
Cheap out there.
Not that cheap. That's where they create the Fallout games, Bethesda Studios.
Oh.
Yeah, for all you nerds and nerdettes out there. Yeah, so I like that they're doing this. I think it's a step in the right direction. I want more of it. And it's cool that BKFC can start it because they give a nice abbreviated version of what a MMA one could look like.
Whoa, he actually... Sorry.
What? Back to Bethesda.
No,
what happened?
He's been reffing.
No.
PFL.
What? If PFL couldn't disappoint me more.
Fucking PFL.
Yo. Are you serious? That's not fake news.
I'm gonna read.
I feel like that's news that the UFC put out as propaganda. Dana White said, "Run it."
Yeah, they said he made a return.
That's insane.
Yeah.
When did he? When was his last fight that he ref?
I guess 2024.
That is insane. I can't believe that.
A wild Mario Yamasaki appears. What are you making?
Well, that's just dangerous.
Wow. Well, what did he have to do to get back in there?
I hope he had to take some of those tests.
Yeah, look at him.
I think he did 2 fights. Oh, he did one of Dakota's fights.
Wow.
Versus Cornelia Holm. I wonder how that went. I wonder if he let her die in there.
Well, damn. Wah.
Well, I bet Chris Curtis would have loved for Yamasaki to be reffing his fight.
Let me die.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fighters are usually okay with it as long as it's not someone they're watching. If it's them, they're like, eh.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. When
It's different.
You.
It's
Yeah.
different. Man. Well, did you see that guy that was streaking?
Yes.
In the
Jumped in the cage.
Oh my God, not the UFC, but in the MMA fight. That's so wild. I feel like the world is just going to get more and more wild the more like MMA becomes.
I take it as a positive.
Yeah, like MMA is just like a household name.
We're up on the level of soccer and football.
Yeah.
We have streakers now, guys. I think that means we're on our way.
Soon we're going to have hooligans. We kind of already do.
Kind of.
Like, I mean, I feel like if you had a McGregor card and he lost, the island guys aren't going to go trashing things, but that's probably the closest.
I've been, I was in Rio and the soccer team lost and there was a fucking riot in the street.
Dang.
Like, we need to get to that level.
Yeah, riots.
That level of emotional, like, craziness.
If you pick the right city, you could probably have a riot the next time O'Malley loses.
Yeah.
You got to pick the right city. Like, what town has the most fuckboys in it? Like, you got maybe LA, like maybe 311 would have been a good scene for the O'Malley crowd.
See, I feel like, I don't know. It would be somebody.
Maybe Miami.
Maybe Boston.
Oh, Boston.
Boston gets down.
Boston. Yeah, I feel
Philly.
Philly for O'Malley?
Well, not for O'Malley, but I was just thinking of
Alvarez.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh,
hi.
hey.
Hi, honey.
I got excited thinking about Jeremy Stevens versus Eddie Alvarez.
Oh no, when he beats Alvarez, there's gonna be a riot.
Yo.
Come on, Philly. Make us happy.
You gotta
be there.
You gotta bring the umbrellas so you can escort him out like Gaston had to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So crazy.
That was nuts. When we were there when I was on the card when Jeremy fought Yair in Mexico City. And when he got that eye poke and they announced that he couldn't continue, they started throwing full beers into the middle of the cage, throwing everything changed. Like, it was a bad look.
People had to hide under the cage, under the tables. It was insane.
It was insane. And they were already pissed because I think it was the co-main event, but Carla had fought Alexa Grasso. And they were already angry because Grasso, it was pretty clear she lost the first 2, but they were very close. And then she just went after it in the 3rd round and got a big 3rd round, but she lost. And rightfully so. But as Carla is walking out, they're booing at her.
Did they dump beer on her head?
One guy got really close and was able to dump an entire pint of beer on her head.
Yeah.
And security took care of him.
And we never saw him again.
No. But apparently that guy worked for a UFC gym in Mexico City.
Come on, guy. Come on, guy.
You're supposed to represent the brand. poker. Not like that. He didn't go to the seminars.
And he was never invited back.
No. But yeah, poor Carla. She got a beer dumped on her. I think it's kind of a cool story, though. You know. I don't know. I feel like I was sad that nobody cared that I won my fight. They're like, we don't care about the girl you beat up. You should
have fought a Mexican. She was Brazilian. They're not one of ours.
I know. It was supposed to be, well, no, the other girl was Brazilian too. Oh, well. Next time.
There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
You'll get to live that.
Yeah, maybe I can rematch Lupi in Mexico City and like eye poker or something.
I'll find somebody. I'll slip them a 5.
Hey,
go pour.
Don't think you'll buy the beer for them.
Just go.
She'll love it. It'll be a great story. You might get beat up beyond recognition afterwards by the security, but it would be a great story. She's gonna love it.
Headlines everywhere.
Yeah, there you go.
Famous.
Oh man, yeah, that was wild. They just started announcing some of the fights for the Mexico City card this year, and our friend Yasmin is booked on there. She's going to be fighting Julia Pilastri, who just fought our girl Corey.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah. And the altitude is always like a thing that I wonder who's gonna thrive in that environment and who's gonna suffer.
Yeah, that the altitude is, I think, the tougher fight.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
Yeah.
No,
it sucks.
It's awful. The last time I was in altitude, I just got winded walking from my bed to the bathroom.
Oh.
And I wasn't there training or fighting.
Yeah.
I was just there for vacation.
Just hanging out. I mean, it's worse when you're in shape because as soon as you walk up a flight of stairs, you go, oh, I'm not in shape.
Yep.
I'm not in shape at all. Like, at least when you're not training, you expect it.
Yeah.
Altitude or not, you expect it.
Well,
but
no, this is normal. This is fair. It's fair.
No, when I'm in fight camp, I pride myself being able to zip up the stairs at Fashion Valley Mall. I'm just like, oh, I'm like Rocky right now. But yeah, altitude gives you no kind of pleasure like that. You're just sucking for air the entire time. You can't sleep. It's hard to breathe while sleeping.
You feel like you're gonna die.
Yeah, it feels like a cat's on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. So, yeah, I always wonder what that's going to look like. Who else is on that card?
I was just looking through this.
UFC
March 252?
Is March 20-somethingth.
20-somethingth.
Yeah. I think like 28th.
22nd.
Oh, it's ESPN 64.
Oh, my card doesn't go that far back.
Okay. I got announced bouts here. Ooh, Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez.
Oh.
Hey.
There's going to be a riot.
Yeah, well, they're both Mexican, right? Oh, wait, no, fuck.
No.
I keep forgetting.
No.
Diego Lopez. You're not a Lopez with a Z.
Nope. He's of the S variety.
I feel like he's one of those ones that just people are okay with, though. Like, remember Verdum? When he fought
Cain Velasquez?
Yeah, Cain Velasquez in Mexico, people weren't that mad about it because he spoke Spanish. He was just a really fun character. And yeah, they weren't hating him. I think he also spent like 2 months of his camp there too.
Yeah, Cain Velasquez is also Mexican American.
Yeah, so they're not as he's not a Yair.
Yeah.
Yair is like born and bred and
he wears a cowboy hat.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see who else. Oh, Gastelum versus Joe Pfeiffer or Pfeiffer, right?
Pfeiffer.
There's no
Pfeiffer.
H.
Pfeiffer.
Oh, Pfeiffer. Okay. What? Who else do I know? Jose Medina. Do we know him?
Yeah.
Is he
a flyweight? What weight is he?
Middle. Oh wait,
no, I don't know.
No, I was thinking Charles Rose's boy might be.
Oh no,
what's his name?
Daniel.
Okay, there are no Daniels here. But yeah, looks like a fun card shaping
Well,
it.
Kevin Gastelum is coming back.
Yeah, that's what
I
I just
missed
said.
that. I only heard
He's
Joe
fighting
Pfeiffer.
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 Or Pfeiffer.
I think I say it differently every time I say it. Literally, I have not said it the same way.
No, I don't think we. He has a podcast, so maybe we should just watch that.
Brady Bags.
And eventually he'll say, what?
It's Brady Bags show.
Brady Bags?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
that's the podcast. They do one together.
Oh, with Brady. Okay.
With Sean Brady. Yeah.
Okay. And what's bags mean?
I don't know. Get that money.
Oh, okay.
Get that bag.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
I'm assuming.
I feel like he probably just calls him Joe on that though. Like we're never gonna hear Pfeiffer or Pfeiffer.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
I'll watch.
We'll just have to watch a fight. Yeah. Anything else?
No, we got some fights coming up next week.
Oh yeah. What is
UFC
happening?
311.
Yes.
We have Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sakarian, if I said that right. Sarukian. I did not. And then we have your boy Marab versus Umar. And then Yuri versus our boy Jamal.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
That's going to be
your
fun.
Tickets?
I did.
Me too.
Yeah. So hopefully we have fights. That'll be fun to go see them fights. I'll bring my that mask that we had to wear during COVID? N63 N64 mask.
You're not wearing it.
Huh?
You're not wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
You're not wearing it.
I'm wearing it. I'm in
Stop
fight
it.
camp. I gotta protect my lungs from the fire.
Okay. If you must.
I'm gonna be happy when I'm cardio kinging this girl. So that's all I'm worried about right now. But that should be fun. I love watching Jamal fight. He's such a character, and I feel like he gets a lot of crap for just being himself. Like I feel like people just don't get it.
I think he's so funny and so likable.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, he did like a heelish kind of thing, and people can't get off that heel train with him, and he's leaning into it. Yeah. And I just wish that people could see him for how awesome he is and because he's so likable.
He is.
He's hilarious.
I think anyone who talks crap about him online, if they spent 5 minutes with him,
you change your tune so fast.
Yeah, like on a train or just like, I don't know, had a beer next to him, you would be a fan for life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a really awesome guy. And him versus Yuri should be a really fun one too. Like just a stand-up battle, even though they could both grapple, but probably going to be a stand-up battle. I'm interested to see how Jamal approaches this. This is one of those fights where people are really excited about happening when he had the belt. So in 3 rounds, I feel like we can get maybe even more exciting version of that.
It's always nice when you know you have 3 instead of 5 because you can just like really let it all out. You don't have to worry about that 4th and 5th round.
Yeah,
you're like, you know what? I can be tired later. It's fine.
Yeah,
we're just gonna go for it.
I'm going first round. I'm getting this done so I can go enjoy myself. I don't want to be in here with you that long. Yeah, and Yuri, he has a gas tank for days. He just like keeps going and going, always doing something crazy. Like you'll think he'll be almost knocked out, and then he just explodes into something out of nowhere. So that's something that Jamal's gonna have to be aware of too. Like just because he's starting to fade doesn't mean he's gonna like disappear. But I don't know. Like I like watching Jamal's fight versus Glover and Yuri's fight versus Glover because I feel like you just see similar tendencies to what could happen in this matchup. Like it's gonna be nonstop.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is going to be I picked this one for fight of the night because I feel like the way that they fight, the way they put everything on the line and kind of like the unorthodoxness, like the possibility of it, I feel like this is going to be like one for the fans.
Yeah.
And the other ones, I think Merab and Umar could be a really fun grappling type match, but I think it's going to be a little bit more strategic and a little bit more cautious from both of them. A little bit more calculated.
I feel like Merab's just going to try to swarm him. Like, try to start the fight as quickly as possible so he can really empty the gas tank on him. I see Merab just trying to get in his face. Because you know that one thing about when you're fighting a good wrestler, the best way to not get taken down is to push forward. Yeah. And a lot of times it feels like that's counterproductive, because if you push forward with like a loopy punch or a kickoff balance, then they can dip underneath it. But you'll see the dip before it happens. Whereas when you're moving backwards, the wrestler will just look like they're moving forward, even though they're moving forward and dipping at the same time. So it's easier to kind of see where that takedown is coming from when you're pressing forward. And that's one thing Merab does the best out of anyone in his weight class. He's just pressures people to the point where they feel smothered. And then when you try to come back, that's when he gets his own takedowns too. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. If anyone can beat Merab, it's Umar. He's bringing all the skills to the table. The best coach in the business too. He has the cheat codes. So if he gets there,
I hope he made it.
Just fly first class, bro. Like, call Dana. Tell him to get the jet out there for you so you don't have to deal with this number one bullshit. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out, because it's a lot of people are saying that Merab can lose his belt. I'm not sure what the odds are. Do you know?
I don't know what the odds are, but Umar is dangerous, especially with when he keeps range. You know, and he throws everything with power. Let's see what the odds are. Merab is a plus 250. Umar is a minus 334.
Merab is the dog in this fight. He likes it though. He likes being a dog.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that fight plays out. And then the main.
Yes.
Who you got?
I'm going to go for Islam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a beast. I think he's big for the division, and I think he mixes up his striking and his grappling so well. And he's really come a long way with his striking.
You saw those pictures of Sarukian,
oh my
right?
Gosh, everybody! Everybody's talking about how Sarukian is on steroids. Where has Nusada been?
Nusada
she's looking lean and mean.
They're not allowed over there.
Fair.
You think John Jones made her feel uncomfortable?
And they never saw her again.
Yeah. She should have been in the kitchen making sandwich for her husband.
Let this be lesson.
Oh man. Well, this matchup is already exciting, but now with Sarukian's new physique, he definitely looks, I don't know, very symmetrical.
He looks like he took a dip in the ooze.
Oh yeah, the ooze Chris was talking about. He got some of that ooze for sure. How do you see this fight playing out?
I feel like Islam is going to come forward with his strikes and pressure the takedown, kind of what he always does, you know?
Yeah.
Not saying that Sarukian is not going to be, participating in this fight. I think they both have similar strengths. I just think that Islam is kind of on another level with it.
Yeah, I don't think Islam's been slowing down with the progression. Yeah, Sarukian's gotten a lot better since they first fought too, but Islam was already ahead of him, and he's been learning on the job. He's been improving. He's not having to be in there that long, and when he is, he just destroys the person. So I can't wait to see how this one plays out too. We're calling Islam the GOAT, this is one of those fights that solidify that for everyone who's on the fence, for everyone who's like, he has to defend more. He only defended against Volk and Poirier. This is going to be that one that solidifies his career. And then, he can start clearing out the division or jumping up and down, going for champ stuff. But this is going to be a really awesome test for him. And who do you see winning?
Islam.
You got Islam. I got Islam too.
I wouldn't be mad on an upset,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. I think that, maybe Surukan could get the KO, maybe. But I think if it goes the distance, I'm going for Islam.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know Islam's dangerous in that last round too. Like, he has no quit in him. He's always grabbing for something, figuring it out, making his calculations. I feel like he's a little more nuanced still on the ground than Surukian is. But that strength can make a difference. So we shall see. So we're both doing Islam for the main. Who you got for the co?
My heart says Marab.
Don't you do that. You can't pick heart bets and brain bets.
I'm going for Marab, but I wouldn't be surprised if Umar won. No, I'm going to go for Marab.
You're cheating.
I know.
I hate when people do heart bets because it's like, oh, so I can't make fun of how stupid you are when they lose because it was a heart bet.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you got to stick by your bet.
It's a strategy.
It is.
Everything. And it worked every time.
The world is a strategy. Well, I'm going with my heart too. Making a heart bet. Let's go, Marab.
Yeah, I love a dog, and then for sure I'm going for Jamal, and that's not just because he's my boy.
That's not just a heart bet.
No, that's not.
My brain had some say in this one.
It did. We made an agreement.
Yeah. Brain heart handshake.
They don't always agree.
No, they don't. They really don't. We got the same picks this week. So
no gloating rights, I guess.
No gloating rights. Not like I got to. It was the best birthday present. Darren winning was the best birthday present, so I could gloat to Jess about knowing everything about MMA. But I did say decision, so
you were wrong.
I fucked up. Yeah. Well, it should be a good night of fights. Is there any other fight on that card on 311 you're excited about aside from those three? And then we will get the fuck up out.
The other two below that, we got Beneil Dariush and Renato Moicano. I got Moicano in that one, and then Kevin Holland and Rainer de Ritter. Who's a newcomer to the UFC.
I got Holland in that one.
You're betting with your heart.
No, I'm not. I remember watching him, and I'm like, how is he?
He has
how is he a champion?
Broken.
It's weird.
He's a weird one.
It's so
but
weird.
He finds a way to win when I don't get it. I don't get it.
He sold his soul to the devil of fighting because he's just going, what we do? And then just drop the guy and jump on him.
No, I mean, talk about like somebody who has big gaps for being at such a high level. Like crazy.
Yeah.
There is very, very little striking IQ on him. But he makes it work for him.
Yeah, but if there's one thing Kevin Holland knows, is how to fill in a gap.
Yes, he does.
He
with his fists and his words.
Yes. He is a segue master.
He's great.
He's good at transitions, and I think he's going to have what it takes to just take advantage of those like holes in Reina's game. It's glaringly obvious. It's like those Drickus Duplessis videos that have been going around where the person is just like, how does he keep getting away with this?
Yeah.
And it's all his like bumbling moments where he's like, do.
Some people they make it work for them.
He just makes it work. It's insane. It really is, but it's really impressive at the same time. So we'll see if Holland will be able to withstand that. And I think, I hate to say it, but I think I'm going with Moicano too. He's just been tearing through people.
A psychopath.
Yeah, and
He is
Darush,
fun to watch.
yeah, and Darush has been showing some openings in his last few losses. So I feel like Moicano is going to be able to be smart and take it where he can get it. But yeah, it should be a great night of fights. I'm excited about it. Hopefully we can see it live, and we will tell you all about it next week on the next episode of Toast Draw.
See ya.
Bye.